Hey guys, I wanted to spend some time going over that booklet that I gave you guys to help you. Now, whatever part of this that you get completed, you will be able to use during your test, just as and for the next quiz. So I wanted to kind of make sure I could hopefully finish this little booklet today. There'll be probably at least 2 videos going over it because it is a lot of material and a lot of problems. So the first page is just a quick reference page, and I want you to be careful with that. So remember, when you're adding and subtracting monomials, remember that your exponents do not change. The only thing that changes are the coefficients, and those are the numbers right before the variable, okay? In the product rule, you're going to multiply the coefficients, but also add the exponents. And the quotient rule, you're dividing coefficients and subtracting the exponents. And feel free to pause this video at any time while you're filling this up because filling this out, because I know I might go a little bit quick for some of you. And then your power rule is you're going to raise that coefficient to the power, all right? And then multiply the exponents. And then as far as negative exponents, we never like to see negative exponents. So you're going to cross the line and change the sign. And anything to the 0 power is 1. And you can always check that by doing like 2 to the 0 on your calculator. And if you forget that, you can always see that that's going to be 1. All right. So we're going to go into the first page of your booklet where we're going to do the product rule. Okay. So just as a quick reference, remember that anything that doesn't have an exponent has an exponent of 1, all right? And you're going to do x to the a times x to the b is equal to x to the a plus b. Remember, these have to be the same base, okay? So these are known as the base, right? And these are the exponents. So I'm going to make sure this might go in and out of focus a little bit, and I apologize for that. So, and then you're going to remember to multiply your coefficients. So be careful of that. Make sure that you use the same rules for integers and stuff like that. I'm not going to simplify too much, especially with these bases that are numbers, but I'll take you through it. So remember, this one right here is 3 to the 2 plus 6, which is just 3 to the 8th. Now you can go ahead and plug that into the calculator and simplify that if you want, but that's really not what we're after here, okay? And then this one, remember that has an exponent of 1, right? So this is 7 to the 3 plus 1, which is equal to 7 to the 4th power. All right. And if you want to, go ahead and pause the video and try to do 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, these are great practice for you guys. You should try to do some of these on your own. Okay, so hopefully you guys tried these on your own. So this is x to the 3 plus 2, which is x to the 5th. Now what I would suggest that you do, now I told you guys you can always expand. What I want you to try to do on this booklet is to utilize the rules. Not because I don't want you to expand, but because I want you to try to utilize the rules so that you understand that when you're expanding, you're doing the exact same thing, okay? And also we have limited space here. So let's just utilize the rules if you can on this, all right? But remember that you can always expand if you need to. So I have a to the 9th plus a to the 1, right? A to the 9 plus 1, so that's a to the 10. So the way I sometimes look at it is, how many a's are there? There's 9 here, and then there's one more here, so there's a total of 10, okay? So that might be a good way for you to look at it. And then we're going to do the next one. M to the 2 plus 1 plus 3 is equal to m to the 6. Here we have two different bases. We have W and we have V. Remember, we try to go in alphabetical order here. So we're going to do W first. So W to the 2 plus 4 and V to the 1 plus 6. So this is going to be W to the 6th and V to the 7th. Okay. Now here we're going to get to ones where we actually have coefficients, which is good. This is good practice. We're going to be getting into your test is going to be problems a little bit along this line right here and here towards the end, but let's keep going. I think it's easier to work from the easy and get harder as we go. So we're going to multiply our coefficients, which is 2 times 3, and k to the 9 plus 2. So this is 6. K to the 11th. This is negative 4 times 2, m to the 2 plus 1. So this is negative 8, m to the 3rd. And then moving on, I have 5 times 3. And please, please, please take a minute and pause the video and see if you can do 9 and 10 by yourself. All right? This is not meant to be watched and just copied over. I want you guys to try these. So we have a to the 2 plus 5 and b to the 3 plus 2. So I have 15, a to the 7th, b to the 5th. Okay? All right. Remember, laws of exponents and integers apply here. So this is negative 2 times negative 9, r to the 6 plus 3, s to the 2 plus 2, and t to the 1 plus 4. Okay, so that's a positive 18, r to the 9th, s to the 4th, and t to the 5th. Okay, remember to follow your order of operations here. We're going to do our multiplication first, and then we're going to add. And we can only add these if these are like terms, which means that this term that I end up with has to have an x to the 4th and a y to the 5th. So let's see if it does. So I'm going to first multiply my coefficients. So that's negative 8 times 5 and x to the 1 plus 3 and y to the 3 plus 2. And then I'm just going to go ahead and write this down so that I don't forget that I need to do that. So this is negative 40, x to the 4th, y to the 5th, plus 3, x to the 4th, y to the 5th. Now that's nice. These two are like terms, so this is going to be negative 37, x to the 4th, y to the 5th. And there we go. Go ahead and give the next one, number 12, a shot. You have to do these multiplications first. This and this, do this side, and then see if you can subtract. So pause the video for a few minutes and give yourself some time to try these. Okay, hopefully you guys did this, and let's see if this matches up to what you did. So I have 9 times 3, m to the 7 plus 2, and n to the 1 plus 2. And then I'm going to do a minus in between, and then I have 4 times 5, m to the 4 plus 5, and n to the 3rd. Okay, so I have 27, m to the 9th, n to the 3rd, minus 9, m to the 9th, n to the 3rd. Okay, so these are like terms. So I'm going to get 18, m to the 9th, n to the third. So remember, the only time it changes is when we're doing multiplication and division. Once we're subtracting, we don't change those exponents at all. Okay, so that is the product rule. Okay, let's go on to the quotient rule, which is the exact opposite of multiplication. Okay, so we're going to divide our coefficients. Remember, the easiest way to do that is to use your calculator, doing alpha y equals, especially if you're trying to reduce a fraction, and I'll probably show you some examples. And if you have x to the a divided by x to the b, that's equal to x to the a minus b. Remember that this is equal to x to the 1, all right? So going to that, we've got 10 to the 13 minus 4, which is 10 to the 9. Go ahead and try to do 13 through 18 for me, and then tell me what you get. And check your work for me, okay? All right. So next one, we've got negative 2 to the 5 minus 1. So this is going to be negative 2 to the 4th. Remember that I said that anytime you have a negative number brought to an even power, it's going to end up being positive. And if I have a negative number brought to an odd power, it's going to be negative. All right. This is just a reminder of some of the, it's just number sense that I want to kind of help give you guys, because I think sometimes we just get all caught up in using the calculator, and you got to remember that you guys are smarter than that calculator. It's just how you put it in. Okay, so this is p to the 9 minus 3, which is p to the 6. And c to the 5 minus 4, which is just c to the first power. And this one, these are the ones that I told you, you might want to go ahead and expand them, but I'm going to go ahead and write them out with the rules. Okay, so this is r to the 8 minus 1, s to the 3 minus 1, so that's r to the 7th s squared. And then I have x to the 6 minus 2, y to the 5 minus 5. Remember, if these are exactly the same, remember they're just equal to 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. But remember also, this is going to be y to the 0. So y to the 0 is equal to 1. So this ends up just being x to the 4th. All right. Now, this one over here is, we're going to divide 15 divided by 3. So that's just going to be 5. But let's just go ahead and show that work. Go ahead and try to do 22 and see how you do. Okay? And then this is going to be q to the 5 minus 3. So this is 5q squared. Now here I have 4 over 8. Now if you can't recognize that that's 1/2, that's okay because we have this lovely thing called a calculator. Let's see, hopefully this works. All right, so if I do alpha y equals on my calculator and I do 4 divided by 8 and press enter, that reduces it to 1/2. Okay? Hopefully you guys recognize that for the most part, but I just want to make sure you guys can do that, and I don't want not being able to reduce a fraction to get in the way of you getting an answer right. So this is going to be a to the 11 minus 2 and b to the 1 minus 1. Again, you can just go ahead and sometimes if you want to just draw a line through that, that works too. So this is 1/2 a to the 9th, and there's no b because b is equal to 1. So b to the 0 equals 1, right? All right, so we're going to reduce this 24 over 36, right, by plugging into our calculator. Or if we recognize they were both divisible by 12, that's going to be 2/3 m to the third. Okay, now what I would do first here is multiply this first and then divide. So let's multiply. We have 7 times -6, c to the 6 plus 2, and d to the 2 plus 1. So that ends up being -42, c to the 8th, d to the third divided by -3, c to the 7th, d squared. Okay? And then I reduce that. -42 divided by -3 is 14. C to the 8 minus 7 is just c to the 1. D to the 3 minus 2 is d to the 1. So that's what I end up with. I apologize because we do run out of room a little bit on this little booklet. So I just want to make sure you guys are careful with that. Now these next two problems, same kind of thing. We are going to multiply first. So this is 4 times 10 w to the 2 plus 7 v to the 3 plus 2. All right, so that ends up being 40 w to the 9th v to the 5th divided by -5 w v to the 4th. Okay, so I'm just dealing with this part right here, and then I'll add that 14w to the 8th, right? So this ends up being -8 w to the 9 minus 1 is 8. V to the 5 minus 4 is just v to the 1, or just v. And that's 14 w to the 8th v. So that's a +6 w to the 8th v. And we're done. What a pain. Okay, thing that I want to do here is we've done this a couple of times. I would say let's go ahead and subtract these two. Do you see how they're like terms? Let's make life easy on ourselves. So these are like terms, and so this is going to be 16 minus 4. So this is going to be 12x to the 9th, y to the 5th, divided by 2x to the 3rd, y to the 5th. And then I'm going to multiply these. This is 3 times 7, x to the 1 plus 5. So 12 to the divided by 2 is 6, x to the 9 minus 3, and this y goes away, right? And then I get plus 21x to the 6. So this is 6x to the 6 plus 21x to the 6. So that's 27x to the 6th. All right. It's a lot of work for one problem, but if you can get to these and get to the point where you got these down, you're in really good shape. So hang in there, okay? So the next thing is the power rule, which is kind of our pain in the butt one. So remember that to raise the coefficient to the power, let me move this, sorry. And you multiply your exponents. So this one right here is 4 to the 2 times 5, which is 4 to the 10th. Okay, try to remember that that means there's 5 of these 4 squares, and we're multiplying them together. So remember that multiplication is just repeated addition, and that's why we can do that with this. Okay, Go ahead and try numbers 25 through 30 for me, 26 through 30 for me, and see how you do. Go ahead, pause the video, and check your work in a minute. Okay, so gradually we're going to get easier, harder and harder, not easier. So this is n to the 4th times 3, which is just n to the 12th. Okay, and then we're going to multiply the coefficients for here. So it's almost like I distribute this 2 to these exponents, not coefficients, exponents. So it's r to the 3 times 2 and s to the 7 times 2. So that's r to the 6, s to the 14. All right. And then the next one, I'm raising 4 to the 4th, a to the 1 times 4. Now to do 4 to the 4th, let's go ahead and use our calculator. So that's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which is 256, a to the 4th. Okay, so hopefully not too bad. All right, so this one is negative 7 to the 2 power. Remember, we're bringing a negative number to an even power, so it's going to be positive, and w to the 4 times 2. So this is a positive 49, w to the 8th. This one right here is negative 2 to the 3rd power. So again, that's a negative number to an odd power. So our result is going to be negative. Okay. Again, a little number sense for you. 7 times 3 and y to the 5 times 3. All right. So this is negative 8, x to the 21, y to the 15th. Okay, so we're going to finish off this page and then I'll stop the video and I'll conclude this. I'll do another video with the conclusion of this little booklet. So here we're going to do 3 to the 4th, g to the 1 times 4, and h to the 9 times 4. So I believe that is 81, 3 to the 4th. Yes, I should know that. Yep. It's 81, g to the 4th, h to the 36. Okay. Now, 1/4 squared. Don't get caught up in a tizzy on that one. Let me show you how to use your calculator. A to the 8 times 2, b to the 4 times 2. So, I'm going to use alpha y equals, and I'm going to put 1/4. All it is, guys, is just squaring the top and squaring the bottom, and that's 1/16. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 4 is 16. And remember, these go up on the top, so that's a to the 16th, b to the 8th. Be careful. You want to make sure they're on the top or on the side. Now, do not forget that when there's a negative in front of here, that is the same as negative 1 times c to the 6 d. All right, quantity squared. Do not assume that there's no number. So what happens is we're doing negative 1 squared, c to the 6 times 2, and d to the 1 times 2. So this is a negative number brought to an even power, so it's going to be positive. C to the 12th, d squared. All right. Now, here we're going to be raising to a power and then multiplying. I'd love it if you guys could try to do 34 and 35. I know it's kind of creepy. So first things first, you want to raise this to the power and then multiply. So let's just go ahead and do 34. we're kind of getting into the danger zone as far as how many of these, how long I want to make this video. So what I'm going to do is tell you guys to give 34, 35, and 36 a try. And then after you're done, go ahead and check my next video, which will go over the rest of the power rule, negative exponents, and more practice, and area and perimeter. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful so far. And remember, you can use this on your quizzes if you have it filled out. So, hope this helps. Talk to you guys soon.